Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I'm here to continue. And, with that last attack on Saudi Arabia, whatever it actually was, certainly it was a false flag if you're paying attention, of course. But there were twin refineries basically in Saudi Arabia, and that was on the date I'd mentioned as an attack day. So it was big enough where I feel like that was, I could continue. And, even though those dates of the 9/11, 9/12 weren't correct, but, I'm going to show you how 9/11 is really important to them. And they're going to have some version of 9/11 as the second 9/11 attack day. So, again, these are always, a hypothesis of mine, or a theory of mine. It's always been that way. Even if I'm confident about it, or I think, hey, this is very, very possible, I always say, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know the future. And if you guys have a problem with that, anybody has a problem with that, I don't care. I really don't, because I'm trying to get to the people that will matter. The ones that don't want to hear it, it doesn't matter to me. So, you don't need to leave your negative comments. I will delete them as quick as I could possibly delete them. Things like that. So I'm here to get the word out and warn people of the mega tsunamis that are coming to both coasts on the day. And then 2 days later, roughly, based on iPad Goat and other things I've seen and heard and know, 2 days later, it could be the nuclear attacks on the United States, which will end the United States. That is my main priority, warning as many people as possible and letting them know that Jesus is the only answer in your life, to just your life in general, and you being, every one of us, including me, being unredeemable without him, spirit, soul, and body. So it's very important that you understand that these puzzle pieces I'm given, that I'm trying to put together, there's pieces from him. Now, like I said, how that all fits together and makes the full picture, I don't know. But I do know he gives me vision to see things. I'm able to recognize patterns. That's a gift he's given me, and many other things like that. Able to see imagery and things and all that stuff. So all glory goes to Father in heaven and my Lord Jesus Christ for what they do in my life. I'm so blessed and thankful. So anyway, I just want you to know that this is all from him, as far as the big stuff, as far as how it all comes together. I don't know if it's even knowable, but there's a lot of things that people say about no man knows the day or hour and all that stuff. That's so misunderstood. It's not even funny. I can easily rebuff that idea. I'm not saying that I know the day or hour. I'm not saying that I will know the day or hour. I'm saying that that's misunderstood completely. And there are so many scriptures that say otherwise. And people want to all the time say, oh, this is what it says, brother, or this is how it... And I'm like, you know what? You obviously don't know the scriptures. The scriptures make it very clear if you know them in entirety. The problem with a lot of religion, man's religion and people's beliefs, is they don't know enough of the scriptures to know that their belief is contradicted by many scriptures. And you have to reconcile all of it together. But most people don't do that. They don't take the time. They don't know enough about the Bible to do that. And so they spout off and say what they believe based on lack of knowledge and lack of understanding and lack of insight from the Lord Jesus Christ. And it is not a religion. It's a personal relationship with Jesus that will save your butt. It saved my butt, and it will continue to save my butt daily, because I know him and I walk with him, and I have the audacity to believe what he says and to try to do what he shows me to do, despite what people think. Right before one of my last videos, that Jesus said to me, "Are you willing to be a fool for me?" And I said, I felt like Peter. I said, I am, Lord. And he said, okay, I got more for you. And so it humbled me again. And I'm willing to be a fool for him, because he was a fool for me. He was a fool in other people's eyes for me. And so, anyway, I believe this is finally broken. Now, as far as the actual day, we'll see. But there could be other meanings in the future, and I'll roll those out as appropriate. But if all these things are lining up like I think they may be, again, I'm just following clues, following the bread crumb trail, basically. Okay, so the 2017, 2019 Economist magazines are full of information and what their plans are. So, this is called lesser magic. They put their plans in front of you, and it's a way of acceptance. It's called, another way of saying is predictive programming, like I've talked about. Predictive programming is the messages behind the imagery and words and things that they present to you that are designed to move your subconscious and your mind along with where they want you to go. It predictively programs you to go their way, and it's subliminal in many ways, and it's designed also to give them more power to carry out their plans. So that's what's going on here. It's called lesser magic. They put their plans in front of you in plain sight, but they hide them at the same time. And so the only way you can really see them is with spiritual eyes, and to open your mind to the truth and ultimately to the Jesus Christ, I believe. And the people who are really successful at things like this have done that, and they see what most people don't see. So let's get into it here. So again, the 2019 the Economist magazine, World in 2019, is best understood by the mirror being right next to it. Okay, and I've explained that. If you don't know my last videos, please watch them. The iPad Go 2 Completely Solved, and I put guaranteed on there, and it was guaranteed upon the condition of there wasn't a big event. If there was a big event, then I would not do any more. If there wasn't a big event, now there was. And I think a lot of people said there was, and I believe there was, of the attack on Saudi Arabia, which is a huge event towards World War III, pushing us closer to World War III, which may be this week, may begin, or down the road very, very soon. So, and this is very important. So this shows a lot of things. Like I showed in my last video, the mirror in the middle here, the mirror right in the middle, and all these faces that were in the middle. Watch those last couple videos I did on this, because I'm not going to rehash all that. But I'm going to get into some things right now. So right here, this imagery right here, this guy in the cover, this is Walt Whitman, and I didn't notice him right away, who it was right away, but I looked into it a little bit and I found who it was. And this is very interesting. When I found this, I had to share this with you today. I was going to maybe wait till tomorrow, but there's a couple things I really need to share with you today, so I'm doing this part one. But Walt Whitman, on the loss of Lincoln, in the poem that became his most popular, "O Captain, My Captain." Okay, this is very important. So, "O Captain" was Walt Whitman's single most popular poem during his lifetime. It's important that you understand this, because, and I'm going to get into this, he did other poems as well that were popular as well. So, but this one was one of his most popular, and I didn't even know about this one. I mean, I don't know literature a ton. Whenever I watch, or whenever I do trivia and stuff, I'm not very good with literature. I haven't read all kinds of different kinds of works and things like that. I do read a lot of different things, but I don't really read a lot of different kind of literature like that. So, but I have some understandings. Anyway, so this is very important. This is the original program from a lecture by Walt Whitman on Abraham Lincoln. It was that afternoon after he died, which is crazy. So Thursday afternoon, April 15th, 1886, right here at 3:00 p.m. Okay, and I'm just going to read this a little bit. "O Captain, My Captain." I'm just going to read the first section here, and you can read the rest. "O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack, and the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead." And you can read more of this, but it's basically a similar thing here. He's basically talking about his captain dying, and it's talking about a ship. And when I saw this and I found this, I could not believe it. I could not believe what I was seeing, because I've been talking about the Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier since really June, but when it was deployed in May to the Persian Gulf area, I knew that there was something going on with it because I've seen it. I saw a picture. I should have put it up here, but I haven't spent the time to find it. But there's a picture of Trump in the Oval Office with a bunch of naval officers, and all of them together was 33 of them, and they had a bust of Lincoln, and they had some other things. It was all imagery showing World War III about to start. And I think it was because it was on the sea in some way, and that's going to have something to do with it. But Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier also, like I've mentioned, on the 4th of July, and I talked about this quite a bit when I was looking at the 4th of July, 5th of July as a possible attack days. It was Trump did this at the Lincoln Memorial. And then, things like there were Abram tanks on display, Abram Lincoln Memorial, Abraham Lincoln, Abram Lincoln. I mean, are you kidding me? It was all over the place. And I've seen a lot of predictive programming things on Abraham Lincoln. And so I'm starting to put more and more together about that. And I've talked about since 4th of July and videos I did that it looks like the Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier is going to be sunk based on the predictive programming I saw. And then recently I found stuff in iPad Go, which is really crazy. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit. The Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier. Now look at the picture of this. If you're not super familiar with the shape of aircraft carriers, get a little bit familiar with it at the top right there and how it kind of forms. Got the two angles on either side where one is where the jets take off and land and things. But over here, it was awarded on December 27th, 1982. I mean, this is an old aircraft carrier. That's another thing that I thought about. I mean, you're sending, this old of an aircraft carrier over into modern warfare. I mean, I know it's been updated many times. I've read on it. They put billions of dollars into this thing over the years. And why? So they can preserve it to this day. That's why. So it's symbolism of the death of a president. And Trump may have something to do with it. For all I know, he could visit it and it could be attacked when he visits it or something. Who knows? But I think also, like I mentioned, the Trump in predictive programming shows that he will be killed at some point, somehow. So anyway, but just look at it, December 27th. 27 is 9, and December is 12. Okay? And then 1982 is really 191, which is 8 plus 2 is 10. And that's like a 9/11 kind of backwards in a sense. And then you have 9/11, and then you have 9/12. But this is really backwards. So it is 219, which is the 21st of September. Okay, that's what I'm seeing right here. I don't know why that's doing that with this pen. Why does it do that? I don't know. There's so many in the dates. For example, it was commissioned on 11/11. Are you kidding me? I mean, there's so much to this. It's, this is 7/11 the year. There's so much to this. But anyway, and I want to bring your attention to, let me move this out of the way here. I don't know why that's, okay, anyway. The length is 1,092 feet, which is a version of 921. My pen here. 9. Anyway, if I put my phone down and write it, 921. That might be better. So it's a version of 921, which is September 21st. So I've been talking about September 12th, but it's just because I saw the 1 and 2 the wrong way, I guess. So what it's showing, let me move this up here. Man, there's so much here. Okay. And then what's interesting about this too is that it's the first nuclear reactor, oh my gosh, it is the first powered by nuclear reactors, basically. Okay. The propulsion is nuclear reactors, or twin nuclear reactors. That's what I'm trying to say. Which is interesting because nuclear reactors, if this thing gets attacked, it could blow like a nuclear bomb or something maybe. It's very crazy, this stuff. So anyway, there's so much more in the dates here, but I'm not going to get into it because I'm trying to make a quicker video. All right, here. Now, and then I decided to look into iPad Go. I never really looked for an aircraft carrier in iPad Go before, but I decided that after this Walt Whitman thing, and by the way, I want to give kudos to my brother Jeff, because we were talking about some stuff, and I was talking about the cover, and he was mentioning, oh, Walt Whitman. He said WW, and I said, oh, Walt Whitman, WW. I mean, World War. I mean, there might be something to that. And then I started looking into Walt Whitman more again. I looked in a little bit, but I didn't see much. I didn't really think about it. I didn't dive into it too deeply. But this time, he got, by him saying some of the things, sometimes he'll say certain things, and it'll get me to look at other things, and it's just been great. Sometimes the timing is impeccable. It's really crazy how the Lord works. Like, he's showing him something, and same time he's showing me something. That worked with the cube that I deciphered, and I'm going to talk about that at some point again. But anyway, I look at the iPad Goat, and let me go back to this slide for a second. So again, look at the curves here. You got this angle right here. You got this angle like that. I mean, look at these angles here. Look at that flat top. Look at this angle sticking out here. Okay, now look at this. There it is. You got the flat top, this angle right here, right there. I mean, there it is. There's the water right there, kind of all over, from it sinking. And then we have a nuclear explosion here. And this even could be a version of it too, because it's jutting out here. So maybe it's two versions of the same thing, or maybe it's two aircraft carriers. I don't know, twin attacks on twin aircraft carriers. There could be one out there at the same time. And there's a nuclear explosion because it's a nuclear aircraft carrier. Again, this is all symbolism and messaging and stuff that they're doing about the coming nuclear attacks. So they would do this first before that. So this makes sense that it could be coming up anytime. So I'm going to talk about the timing on this at some point. The other thing I've talked about is I know this was Bush being shot in the back of the head. And so I'm thinking, does that represent Trump? Does that represent Obama? Because he turns into Obama and all this stuff. And then I thought about, the shark attacking, and I thought about subs. But for some reason, until just recently, when I'm thinking about, this being attacked, and I saw this slide here, then it just came to me. I'm like, what? So it is a sub attack on the Abraham Lincoln because he's a president. And you see it shooting the back of his head, just like this. Okay, this is a, painting or picture of him being shot in the back of the head. And you have behind the left ear is how, he definitely got shot. And then here it is. There's George Bush's, it's his left ear, the left side of his head shown. He's shot in the back. And you can see this chalk color right here, shooting into the back of his head. I'm now probably covering it up a little bit. But anyway, it's crazy. So this thing is shooting in the back of his head. It's a shark. And a shark in Russian is a Kula. Kula class subs are called sharks. So we could have a Russian sub basically attacking the Abraham Lincoln at some point. Now I'm going to talk about the possible day here soon. Okay, and there it goes. I mean, that's a definite correlation here, without a doubt. So we have a sinking aircraft carrier with a nuclear explosion. And again, this is in the Middle East area because we have a Middle Eastern lady here with a burqa or whatever, and she's crying because her son got killed or whatever. Whatever the symbolism is all on that. I have some ideas, but I'm not going to get into that right now. And there's also probably something right in here. I was going to look into this, actually, right into here, and I just forgot, actually. So there's probably something right in there. It looks like there's a bunch of lines that make something, and I didn't look at it. I should have. And I can only do so much. I don't have a lot of time, and my babies right now, my twin babies are teething, and man, they're very fussy. Very fussy a lot of the time. So I'm doing a lot with them at night and stuff when I'm home, and I try to help my wife out as much as I can with them. So especially when they're teething, it's really a lot of effort and stuff. So they're very fussy. So anyway, so back to this. And then, so I'm looking at a possibility of, so basically Abraham Lincoln, in 1886 was attacked or shot on April 14th. Okay, he was shot at, I don't know why that does that, man. This silly application just makes a straight line right there where there is no straight line. April 14th, he was attacked think it was like at 10:04 at night or something like that, which I think is substantial too. But anyway, and that was the 104th day of the year. April 14th is the 104th day of the year with 261 days left. Now, like I said, they're really into mirrors. Like I've been showing you, the 2019 Economist magazine is mirrored, and they're into mirrored dates and all kinds of stuff. So this is a mirrored dates on the calendar. So we have September 18th, which is today. The reason I'm putting out this today, for the possibility, it may not happen, or it may happen, the possibility of the Abraham Lincoln being attacked by a submarine today, because this is the mirror of when the day of the year that Abraham Lincoln was shot. So the mirror of that is 261st day with 104 days left, is the mirror of 104th day with 261 days left, going back. Okay, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. That's why I'm sharing this right now today. So we'll see what happens. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure, based on the predictive programming that I've seen for a long time, for several months, actually a little more than several months, actually. It's been almost a year that I've seen a lot of things with Abraham Lincoln. And with the iPad Go stuff we're showing you right now, that's going to happen. But it may be, I'm just speculating, speculating on all this stuff, of course, but some things I'm more confident in because it's shown so much in predictive programming and, media of all kinds. Okay, so now I want to get into palindrome dates. And I don't know if you're aware, but today and tomorrow, the last of the palindrome dates in 2019, and they're pretty rare. A palindrome date, for example, is like yesterday. We had 91719. So we had September 17th at 19. That's a palindrome date. So it looks the same forward as backwards. But what I'm showing you is a picture. I added dates here, of course, and then says palindrome, but it's written in such a way where it could be turned upside down and backwards. So a palindrome date is just backwards, okay? 91719 or 91719, forward or backwards. But this type of palindrome that it's showing right here is upside down and backwards. So if you flip this whole thing upside down and backwards, it says palindrome again, of course. So that's very important because they like those. They like things backwards. They like things mirrored. They like things upside down and backwards. Any way they can hide their information in plain sight, and it's called, like I said, lesser magic. So they have more power over people to put out their plans, and people see it and don't really realize it, and they kind of give it more power by not questioning it and not going, hey, wait a minute, and then stopping that whole process. They just kind of, okay, and then they don't even, because people, if they're not aware of the evil that's going on, they're letting it happen, basically. And if you're not awake to the truth and you're letting it happen, you're kind of complicit in it. I mean, it's just the way it is. And you add millions and billions of people to ideas and thoughts. By the way, the most dangerous thing in the world is an idea that's entertained. Yeah, ideas are already dangerous, but then ideas that are entertained are the most dangerous things, more dangerous than anything. For example, an idea, let me give you a great example. Here's an idea. I'm the president, and I should probably hit the nuke button. And then what's worse than that, here's an idea that's entertained. I should hit the nuke button right now. Boom. Okay? I mean, seriously, there's nothing more dangerous than ideas, and nothing more dangerous than dangerous ideas entertained. So the enemy knows this, and he gives people all kinds of ideas every day. And we, hopefully we see those and we go, that's stupid. No, I can't do that. I can't really kill that person. Oh, I can't really do this. I can't really steal that. But a lot of times we entertain those ideas, and it makes things worse. Anyway, so ideas are, when he puts all these ideas in front of us and we don't see them, and then we're kind of complicit in it in a way. But instead, if we're seeing with real eyes of truth, then we can go, hey, wait a minute, that's what's really there. No, I'm not into that. No, that's what's really going on there. No, I'm not going to. And so here you are, let's say you see this stuff and millions of people don't. Are you going to say, stop in Jesus' name? I mean, I'm sorry, but the will of millions and billions of people is against you. Are you going to stop it? Probably not. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying probably not. So what people need to do, instead of you religious people that are super religious and don't understand how things really work, why don't you pray, ask God to pray and pray for his will and pray for people to be saved and the things that you should pray for, instead of praying against things that are way overdue and are not going to be changed. And hey, I'm for standing up against pure evil, and I do in my videos. And you know what? I've gotten death threats. Okay? How many of you got death threats on YouTube? I've gotten death threats. Okay? And other things. And I got my operating system wiped from my phone, my last phone, because I'm posting truth. And other things. Things stolen from me, things taken. Jesus is powerful. He does what he does for me. And he keeps me and he preserves my life. I've had people attack me physically and all kinds of stuff, and the Lord has protected me. You can't imagine. So anyway, moving on. So anyway, here is the Economist magazine with the mirrored reflection here. And so I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. And let's blow that up a little bit more. Okay. So right here, on the right side here, let me go. This is the first cover because the 2019 is correct in the right direction, but then all this lettering is backwards, like I mentioned. Okay, all the lettering is backward. But these two are again. I'm recognizing patterns here. These two. Now, if you go over here, you can actually read it. Over here, it says Putin's pipelines and Britain beyond Brexit. Putin's pipelines and Britain beyond Brexit. But we're going to go so I could actually read this backwards. Some people couldn't. I could read this backwards, no problem. So I knew what it said. And so I'm going to do the pattern I see it doing, and then I'm going to translate it over here. So I'm going to do that palindrome thing, start it here, and then I'm going to do the palindrome thing and do the mirror over here, like I showed you. Okay, so let me go over here. So in my mind, now I might not have this completely correct, but this is the patterns I see. Many different patterns and things. But Britain beyond Brexit is 3 Bs. And so that sticks out for me. It's like when I was sharing about all the 811 or 118 signaling and all these different things. And even when, for example, Gilbert Godfrey was talking about the Golden Gate Bridge. GG was talking about GG. Gilbert Godfrey was 77, which G is the 7th letter. Golden Gate Bridge is GG. Or the Gilroy Garlic Festival, GG 77. They're really into 77 or 777, or sevens is, spiritual perfection or completion, and all this stuff. And so I recognize when they're doing patterns like that. So the Britain beyond Brexit is 3 B, so it's 2, 2, 2. Okay, and then Putin's pipelines. Oh, by the way, 2 plus 2 plus 2, because they add these things together most of the time. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So I'm going to do 6 here. And then Putin's pipelines is 2 P's. Putin's pipelines. I mean, come on. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I mean, come on. Putin's pipelines. So if you're kind of watching or paying attention a little bit, so we have P. Those are the P's. And P is 16. And so you have 2 P's. It's 16 and 16. And then now let's take the 6, because this 6 is over here. Let's add it to this right here. 6, 1. Do you see that? 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. See, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. So I took the 2 P's, and those are 16, 16 and 16, and I took the 2, 2, 2, added up, put it to 6 right here. And then I'm going to use that palindrome, for example, that imagery of the palindrome thing I just showed you, and I would turn this upside down and backwards and put it over here in the reflection. So it's 9, 1, 9, 1, 9. Okay. And somewhere in this area, I'm just picking a place where you can kind of see it with this lighter space, but somewhere in this area, and guess what? There just happens to be right here the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but maybe. But 91919 is tomorrow. September 19th, 2019 is 91919. And also, let's look at it back over here. This is also a version of 666. Okay, these are little space. You can look at these as spaces in a sense, But you see 666 in there. I mean, they're definitely going to use that. I mean, there's no doubt. So, there's a number of reasons why 91919 not only be a perfect palindrome, so I could kind of do it right here. I could do 91919, and the mirror is the middle right there. So it's 91919, basically. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you there. So we have possibly something, could be, I don't know, maybe not, possibly, probably not. Just guessing. Today, maybe, Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier could be attacked. Eventually, I believe it will be attacked. So you just put that in your hat. Tomorrow, 91919 could be something relating to something, a big event, or start of something, or maybe even the start of some big attack or something. So anyway, I'm just showing you there what I see, and that's something there. So moving on, here is those 4 horsemen. And they're kind of small. They kind of make them small on purpose, so you can't. It's harder to see. Now we'll go back to this. I mean, most people can't really they don't really notice that. See those little guys right here, or right there in the Economist magazine, the original one. I mean, okay, that's kind of small. Unless you're really paying attention. This is a big symbol in here. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Are you kidding me? Now, notice something in here. You see this right here? Look at the war one. So this is the white horse. This one I just circled here is the war, and that is the Statue of Liberty, which is crazy. I've said that so many times. That would be the beginning of war, when the Statue of Liberty is destroyed with the mega tsunamis. But it's backwards, because we don't go left to right, we go right to left. So you go to the mirror here, and then we have the white horse first. So I'm just going to circle the head of each person. White horse, we have the red horse of war, we have the black horse, and then we have the pale horse of death. So this is famine and all that stuff, and then we have death, all that stuff. So that's the actual order. So that's the mirror. So this is the mirror to it, and this is the original one right here. That's the original one right here in the original cover. But when you mirror this, and this looks like some kind of explosion here, maybe it's a volcano and explosion at that time. I mean, that's when this is going to happen with the tsunami wave. Anyway, I don't know but I'm just showing you what's here. What this all exactly means, I don't know, but this is what I see so far. This is crazy. So the first horseman is the white horse, and it goes all the way to the pale horse of death. And again, that was on the 2017 cover. And I'm going to show that again here, but let me talk about this. And then we have this picture, for example. And immediately when I saw this, I immediately thought, over to the right side of the cover has got this old man's face. It says facial recognition. And it has these letters and stuff. And then it shows Trump's face. And so a lot of people probably assume, oh, that's facial recognition too. But no, that's not what it's doing here. It's to throw you off. It's showing you a bunch of things in here. And I think I've seen some, but there's probably more. But to me, it's showing this was the original image on the original magazine. And then when you mirror it, when I added that, I'm going to show you what it shows after that. But what I'm thinking as well is that the Economist magazine cover, the one that actually came out, this one that this was on, this direction, is actually showing what that month will be like. And then the reflection, which is possibly August, and things are going up, and this is showing, I believe, that possibly the stock market going up based on, it's like Trump's stock market, because, he's saying stuff, it's going down. He's saying stuff, doing stuff is going up, or whatever. He's taking responsibility for it. He's saying he's doing it, all this stuff. So in a way, in an arrogant way, it's Trump's stock market, right? He does a funky deal with China, or he does a thing with China and rebuffs them, and then it goes down, and then he does this and it goes up. So it's Trump's stock market in a sense, in a way of looking at it, in his arrogance. And they want to make him look as arrogant and bad as possible, so he takes all the Christians and conservatives with him, and he builds up the ire of the left and, the communists and socialists and all these people. So when he's taken out of the way, they want to get rid of everybody, because they brought this guy who started World War III, and they all need to be dealt with. That's what's coming. I mean, he is a Trojan horse for the conservative and Christians. I'm telling you, the people that believe in him, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I believe this is going up. And then in his picture, the reflection that I'm showing attached to the original, it shows it going down. And then also, see this highlighted thing? It kind of highlighted the lines, and it kind of looks like an American flag upside down. So America's going upside down, and the economy is going down at this time. And then also these are numbered right here. So these are each letters, and they're numbered here, as you can see I did on here. So this is going up, possibly in August, and this is the month it goes down. I'm saying is a possibility. Now, this is what I see, and we'll see what happens. It might be a different month, good and bad month. Maybe it's October or November. I mean, I don't know. But I'm just saying what I see so far. This is what I'm saying. Okay, so these all equate to numbers. So this is an A right here. This is an H. This is an E. This is an N, M, C. So these are all the numbers for those. A equals 1, B equals 2, all that kind of stuff, right? But up here, I look at it as a little bit different. Up here, see this one right here, the 16? Okay. I look at it as a little different. So let me go over there next. So 16, I look as 8, 8. So 8 plus, and it's on a different plane. These are over here. I shouldn't have drawn that. That's in my way there. Whatever. These are over here, and then this one's up here. So this is 8 plus 8. I'm hitting the top here. 8 plus 8. Okay, that's 8 plus 8. So 88. And again, that's Trump. So this is saying this is Trump, and this is Trump. That's English Gematria, where A equals 1. And again, we're looking at English Gematria. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, all that stuff. So we have 1. So A here, this one, A equals 1. So let's just look at this. So, and then I kind of look at this separated as these 3 lines are together. The way I see it. So these 3 lines are together, and these 3 lines are together, okay? It's the way I see it. So we're going to 1 plus 8 is 9. And then we have a 5. And this is the way I'm looking at it right now, okay? Then I'm going to separate this. Oh, that's probably okay. I did this. Okay, so 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. And then we have 3. Okay, now what I saw in this was, in relating to the rest of the cover and everything, was 9. Why is this writing that? Oh, okay, it's off the thing. That's why. 9. And then 2 plus 3 is 5. So 23. 9, 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. So we have that 5 there. And then 9, 3 is 9, 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have 9, 5 and 9, 3. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. And then another way of looking at it is these share. Then we look at the whole thing. We look at the whole thing. And the middle is shared, the 5. So we go 9, 5, and this is 5, and this is 16. 13 plus 16. Oh, man, this is really not working out. Okay. All right, so we have 9. So we have 5 and 5. Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10, which is 1. Anyway, that ends up being, sorry, I'm good. This thing's not writing the best. Anyway, so it ends up being 9116. Okay, that's what it ends up being. And then again, you turn it upside down and backwards, it's still 9116. Upside down and backwards, 9116. Upside down and backwards. So it's basically 9119 or 911, 911. However you spin it. It's 9116. Okay, so in a sense, it's saying 911 is on 921 and 923. If you can see that, I don't know. If you get that, if that made sense, how I did that. If not, go back, look at it, or don't. Whatever. Okay, so here we go. Now, I want to talk about this again. So, what I'm saying is, okay, look, I see it like this, right? I saw 912 initially. 912, right? 912. There's 912 right there. And I thought backwards, 912, so because 1 plus 2 is 3, so it's backwards. But the whole thing is backwards. And this is how God has decided to convey this to me, because he knows what I know about all this stuff. And God can convey to you any way he wants. I mean, he can talk out of a mule. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. And a lot of times it's personal, and it's how. So he's shown me how they do things backwards and upside down, or upside down and backwards, and other things. He's shown me how they do that. Doesn't mean he does it. Doesn't mean I do it. I don't do any of this stuff. I'm just exposing what they do for you religious nutballs out there that think that because I'm showing it. And God, it's just amazing. Where do you guys come from? I mean, it's just sad. You need to work on your heart. The reason why people see so much error is because their heart is darkened. You need to work on your heart with Jesus. He will heal you. He will change you, and then your heart can see light, and it can see truth. All the variations of darkness and light, of seeing truth and no truth, is based on our heart. And if we're willing to let Jesus be Lord and guide us and lead us, he will lead us down a path to issues in our life that create conflict, and then that'll bring up the funky stuff in our heart, and then he will show us how to deal with it and how to heal it, and then we'll be open to more light, and our darkness of heart will go away. That's how the process is supposed to work. That's why obedience is so important. That's why following Jesus and knowing him as a person, the Spirit of truth, and knowing him as the way, the truth, and the life is important. He is the life. If your life is your own and you're doing whatever you want, he said, don't do what you want. Do what I show you. That's not what the Bible says all over the place. It says, do what I show you do. It says, put down your life. Okay? Put down your life. I mean, that's what needs to be done. So anyway, what the Lord's showing me is it's all backwards. Again, this was 3 times this happened. I got a water bill for $39.12. To reiterate, for the people who don't know, I got a water bill 3 times in a row. I've been at this place, renting from this place, 3.5 years, roughly, and I've never gotten one water bill the same, ever. Not one penny the same. And I got 3 in a row. So this is, a sense, the month before, this is the last month, and then this is this month. Okay? 3 times in a row. And I didn't notice it until this last month. That was a few weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. 1 week ago? 2 weeks. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. A little less than 2 weeks ago. And it's the whole thing's backwards. So if I do it backwards, 2193, it's 21st of September 21st, which is 3. Okay? And it doesn't end there. So this is a little bit of space. You can see that too, with a dot point. Okay, it doesn't end there. And that's 3 times in a row, which is impossible because I don't use the exact amount of water. In fact, I share a property with a business, and my landlord owns both. It's a weird situation. The zoning on this thing is just really bizarre. But we share the same utilities because it's all in one. It's really bizarre. So it's a business, and it uses water more than I use water in my family. And so it ends up where 2 entities that use water use the same amount 3 times in a row, and that's never happened before. I mean, you got to understand that how freakishly rare this is, and how after the 3rd time I'm like, there's no way this could happen, because it's never happened in 3.5 years, not even by 1 penny close. And then we're talking about 3 times in a row. Now, then you add this. Then when you add the $39.12 to my rent, which is, and I'm gonna tell you my rent, $12.60. $39.12, whatever. Anyway, I can't write on this. So which is again twice. That's $9.21. I think it should be $9.21, whether it's another date or whatever. But it is $9.21 twice. And then right here, this is 6 is upside down, and it's 9 and it's 21. My rent has been for 3.5 years $9.21, and I didn't even know it. God's been showing me the whole time. So this is upside down. This is 9. And so this is backwards 921 right here. That's crazy. And then when you add these together, plus you get this. And then this is, let me write this all backwards. It's 21.9921. So you got 21st of September 21st. I mean, I hope you see this. And this is 3 times in a row, this added this way, because my rent is always steady. And it's been this $12.60 for 3.5 years, like I said. But thankfully, my landlord's amazing, and he loves us and everything. He's like, I don't want to change your rent at all because you guys are amazing. And my rent should be almost twice what it is. It's God. It's all God. I can't even tell you. I live on 1.5 acres with 17 trees. My family is so blessed. My kids, where we're at, and I pay so little compared to everybody else around me. It's all God. That's a long story there too, but it's amazing. Okay, so look at all that. Hopefully you can see that. It's amazing. Okay, so now let me go back into the world in 2017. Where am I at here? Okay, let me go back to the world in 2017. Okay, and with the correct understanding that I have, I think. Okay, again, it's my theory at this point. I didn't see it quite right. I need to just reverse 2 letters, instead of 912, it's 921. Okay, but let me show you. I believe I've decoded this time, okay? Whatever 921 is exactly, but I think it's probably 921 September 21st on the Gregorian calendar. So back to this. Okay, so we have again, I shared this in my last videos, but I'm going to briefly cover this. Each card is a card, an arcana card. The tarot cards, these are trump cards or arcana cards. They're the most powerful card. And then they all have a number. They're in order. And then these two are slanted because they point to the actual year that it's talking about. So this is what the number for each card is. They're in order. That's what they're numbered as. For example, the Magician right here is the first card in the order of the Arcana cards. And I figured this out with the Lord guiding me. So this is all the numbers of each card in order. And so again, the two tilted cards are 20 and 17. And this is the world in 2017. So it's a primer showing you that you're doing it right. And showing me that I'm doing it right. But I missed something. This is what I think it might be saying now. So again, you start from up here, this 9 right up here. Okay, wow, I keep doing this. This 9 right up here, okay. And then you go backwards, and then it says 9120261. Well, I assumed that this was correct right here, but it was backwards. So let's go here. So that's backwards as well as the other three. This was backwards, this was backwards, that was backwards. So I did this forward, made it 21, 02 forward made it 20, and then of course this 61, of course, like whenever you see 6 or 9, they could be the opposite because 6 turns upside down to 9, 9 turns upside down to 6. That's how they do this. That's how these guys are. They're just a bunch of freaks. Anyway, and then so what that ends up being is 9/21/2019. Isn't that crazy? Wow, 9/21/2019, which is in a few days. We'll see what happens. And then this bottom one here is 17, 10, 1, and 13. So this is what I'm redoing this as well. So I'm thinking this is what this says. So it's 9, 7, 1 plus 7 plus 1, and then there's 0 is nothing. And then you have 1 plus 1 is 2, and then you have a 3. 923. So it's 9/21 and 9/23/2019 is what I'm saying right now. My decode. And then also, because this is Israel's month in the main Israel calendar, it's incorrect like most calendars, like all calendars pretty much, except for God's real calendar based on the words, sun, moon, and stars. It is 6. It's the 6th month, so this is 9/23 or 6/23, however you want to look at it. Okay, so now let me go back to this again, that 2019. And again, this came out. This is another reason why there's so many reasons why 2019, I believe, is the year. Because 2019, the Economist magazine came out with this initial cover looking black. They've never done this before. And so it's ominous. And a lot of people are saying, what the heck? People that are watching and knowing what's going on, they're like, what the heck? Lights out, power out, 2019, okay? But then this one came out days later or whatever it was, okay? Still couldn't find when this one actually came out exactly. It might be November 21st. Which is 9/21. Anyway, I know last year's one came out in November. The one before that for 2018, it came out November 21st, 2018, which at Novem is 9. So it could be 9/21. They're hinting at that with November 21st. But I would try to confirm that this one came out November 21st on 2018 for 2019's edition. But anyway, I couldn't. But I know this one came out like December 3rd of 2019. So it was like a few weeks after this black one. So they wanted to freak people out, the people that know, and do some predictive programming as well. And the masses like, we don't know. It's black or whatever. But they're hinting that there's going to be catastrophe. And this is confirmed by many things on the Economist magazine 2019, including the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I mean, are you kidding? Okay, so back to this. Now, again, what I showed in my last video was that look at the backwards 2019 up at the top left, the backwards 2019, and then I just went like that. I went whoop. See, whoop, whoop. Okay, so it is really showing it's a mirror, and the mirror is in the center, and I showed this on my last videos. It's right in the center, And then you read, but what I should have done, I read it left to right, which is 9/12/2019, the whole thing from left to right. But no, you read from the center right here. You read from the center, from the mirror. So you got 2019 on this side. Then on the left side, you have 219. I'm sorry, not 219. Yeah, you have 219, but it's the 21st of September is how you turn it this way. So it's the 21st of September is what it's saying. 2019. Okay, and then what's this? It's circling a moon. I'm circling a moon after that. So I think this is a timeline in a sense. It's going this way. So it's it's 21st of September right here is what this is saying. And then you have this moon. And for a while I was like, what is this? And all this stuff. And then it just kind of started coming together in just a short time. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So check this out. Now remember I'm talking about in these other things the 21st and the 23rd, like in the 2017. It was the 21st and the 23rd, right? Is what I decoded it as. So we're looking at 21st and 23rd, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the 21st in my rent and the water bill. By the way, it's a water bill for tsunamis. 3 times this water bill was the same as water. Tsunamis. I've had tsunami dreams. Okay, anyway, the other day on this one channel, Chelsea, I can't remember her last name now, but there were 3 ladies that had tsunami dreams. Paul Bagley's recently had a tsunami dream. I think Watchman on the Wall 88 or whatever he is had a tsunami dream in the past. Many people have had tsunami dreams in the last years. I had my first one over 4 years ago, and that's got me on this path. And the Lord showed me all this evidence and everything, and I'm just bringing more and more as it comes. Anyway, it's happening more and more because it's getting closer and closer. It's crazy. A lot of people get tsunami dreams. It's amazing, okay? Because the mega tsunamis on both coasts are coming very soon. Maybe on the 20th/21st. Okay, so let me get into this. Okay, so the moon on September 23rd at 1600 UT time, which is, so September 23rd, 1600, so you minus 4 hours for New York. Oop, let me move that over here. 4 hours for New York. So that's 12 noon. And why is this important? Because the moon phase right there is at 33. I couldn't quite get it to 33.3, but that's close enough. 33.4. 33.3 is 33.3. Then what's the balance? What's the dark area right here? That is 66.6. That's 0.666. Or you could say 66.6%. So it's 0.6. So it's 2/3, which is 2 divided. That's why they love 23. Another reason why they love 23 is because 2 divided by 3 is 0.6666666, or it's 66.666666, whatever percent. They love that 6. So the darkness is the 66.666666%. The light is the 33.3. So that's why another reason why they like 33 too. It's crazy. Okay. By the way, if you take in the numbers, if you take one of the numbers for Obama is 117. I think Barack equals 117. And then his birthday is on the 216th day of the year, and that equals 333. 117, which is, I think, Gematria for Barack. And then his 216th day of the year, which is really, guess what? 216th day of the year, which I've shared many times, is 6 times 6 times 6. Yeah, why does it keep doing that? So 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. And if you take 117, which a lot of people have seen 117, it relates to the end times as well, and the timing. Those two together is 333. I mean, these numbers are crazy. I've been looking at these numbers for a long time. Okay, so what does that mean? So here's a scene in iPad Goat 2. And then you see this clock tower right there. The clock tower, which is a symbol of time, of course, and it's pointing to a time. Well, it's funny what the clock tower actually says. And where is that clock tower sitting? Look at what it's sitting. And look, right here, it's touching the ripped American flag. So that's when America is going to be destroyed. I've kind of panned out a little bit here as it pans out, but so you can see this first view. But the clock tower is sitting in a crescent moon. Look at that. The clock tower right here is sitting in a crescent moon. And it's a little distorted, so you can't quite tell, but if you complete the circle, it's a 33.3% crescent moon. If you complete the circle right here, it's a little distorted right here with it looking like it's snow or whatever. I believe this is nuclear winter. A lot of people wondered about this. What's the dust? Is this snow? Is this in winter? I believe it's nuclear winter and some other things. But right here, if you complete it right here, it is a 33.3% crescent moon. Now I'm going to show you this. Okay, and then right as you can see the full crescent here in the full clock here, right as the United States is being torn, the flag's being torn in half, and there's actually one star that's ripped off. There's a one star in here, and that I believe is Hawaii, because that's one state, and Hawaii is going to be destroyed in one moment with the massive explosion of Kilauea and everything, and then tsunami, huge tsunami that's created from the East Rift Zone falling over the Helena slump on the south side of the Big Island, and all that land displaced is going to fall into the ocean, cause a massive tsunami that's hundreds of feet high, going to go across the Pacific and hit the West Coast among all the other Pacific countries. Anyway, it's going to be really devastating, of course. At the same time, an East Coast tsunami is going to be created. Hitting Babylon Canyon, which is just off the coast, underneath the water, on the ocean floor. Babylon Canyon is this huge canyon that's bigger than the Grand Canyon, and it's basically a big funnel that points right to New York, and they're going to shoot this Poseidon nuclear missile into this. That's what all the predictive programming is showing, with things that have been in the news about the Low Shark, the Russian sub that can go super deep. I mean, all kinds of stuff I've shared. They're going to shoot this Poseidon missile. Poseidon, I mean, give me a break. There was a movie called Poseidon, which is about a massive tsunami wave. I mean, it just all comes together. They shoot this massive Poseidon missile into the Babylon Canyon, and it's going to funnel the most pressure and most power into New York with this massive tsunami wave that's going to hit New York roughly around the same time. Or it's going to actually hit New York before, and I'm going to preface that, it's going to hit New York before the wave from Hawaii hits the Pacific coast, because the Pacific coast, the west coast of the United States, it will take about 4 to 4.5 hours to travel from Hawaii across the Pacific to hit the west coast. Anyway, wow, all that stuff. Then we have, look at that. Like I said, look at the clock hands, 12. So it could be midnight or it could be noon. But this is showing, with this crescent moon that I'm showing you right here, this is showing noon. So it's UT time -4, and I showed you that is noon. From 1600 hours is 12 noon. Otherwise, it'd be 2400 hours. It's 12 hours, which is noon. Anyway. On September 23rd, at 33.3% or 33.4, whatever. I couldn't get it quite to 33, of course. Boom. Okay, let me show you more. Look, there's the Economist magazine moon right there. There's that moon, the real moon on that day. And there it is right there. Okay, so I'm saying the Economist magazine is showing 9/21, and then just after that is that moon for 9/23, showing both attack days. 2 days apart, just like iPad Goat shows. Okay, now let's show you more. Okay, this is the egghead character called Ludwig. And Ludwig, actually in Latin, means, there's two words, Ludo and Vika, or whatever it was, and it means to play, and then Vika means sheep. Playing sheep, something like that. So to play a sheep. So in a way, it's calling these people, this is the average Joe person, probably, that's got drugs and is high and is unaware of what's going on. And he's got the snake in his head, and then it turned into a monitor of a TV and everything. So people are completely clueless. And then when this little moon shows up right here, see that little moon down there? And I'm going to show you more. Then he wakes up, kind of. And so you can kind of call him, as people have said, the sheeple. Wow, man, why does that do that? Oh, I hate this application. Sheeple. He's the sheeple. And they're going to wake up when this happens, and there's the moon right there. And he wakes up and he gets up, but let me show you here. There's the little crescent moon. Look at that. And there's like a footprint here too, but this image is moving inside there. And there's the drugs and stuff, and the man, I think it's I saw some recent statistics, and I think half of Americans take prescription drugs, something like that. It's just horrible. Man, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that's just horrible. That's what have we become? What have we become? Anyway, so then what does that mean? Look at that. See that? That is a crescent moon. That is a 33.3% crescent moon right there. And then look at this. Added to that. So there it is. And that's when he wakes up. And there's that. And we're talking about the Economist magazines relating to iPad Go, and iPad Go relating to Economist magazine, relating to the Georgia Guidestones, relating to this, relating to that. All these different things I'm talking about in Decoding, showing this time frame. Whatever it ends up being, but I'm saying right now it's very possible it's the 21st and the 23rd. 21st on the East Coast for the tsunamis, 20th for the West Coast, and the 20th is 9/2, which is the 2 is 1 and 1, so that's 9/11. But kind of a funny way of kind of concealing it, because you add the 2 and 11 together, the 1 and the 1 and 11 together, you get a 2, so it's 9/2, and then you add a 0 to it, it's 9/20. That's on the East. That's on the West Coast, and then 9/21. Okay, you texted me here. Okay, and then let me redo this. So again, this is the fool Bush representing the American people, and because he's their president. Fool me once, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Okay, and then fool me. He says fool me. So the second one, he's going to get fooled, like I said in my last videos. And he goes, can't get fooled again. And so basically, again, fool me stuck out in Gematria, and then I'm going to redo this. So there's the numbers there, fool me in Gematria, simple Gematria, basic Gematria, and then we have 21/9, and again, it's the 21st of September. There it is again. 21st of September is right there. So I'm changing from 12th of September to 21st of September, because that's really how you read it backwards. Or forwards, or really this way would be forward, but you just say it like the people in Europe say, the 21st of September, but people still say that. Most of us say September 21st, but in other countries they say 21st of September, but some people here say it that way too. All right, and then I want to cover this again. Again, this is Obama. He is the Antichrist being born. This is I've talked about this. This is Saint Joseph's the Divine Cathedral in New York. And these are on the pillars. There's a spiral from the CERN Large Hadron Collider going off and making the spiral in the air. Watch my last videos on that. But Obama was there on December 9th, 29, which is 911921 backwards. This backwards is 911921. Because 92 equals 91 is equal to 911921, and this is crazy. So it's really, so in a way of looking at it, also it's 920921, 920921, and then right here he spent 26 hours, which is upside down and backwards for 92. Just add a 0 and you got 920. I mean, it's crazy. We got 11/7 here. And that's his number. There again. There it is again. Look at that. 11/7 or 117, 117 is his number as well. So anyway, it's right there again. I want to talk about this also. Then I'm pretty much done here. Okay. I had this dream. I've shared many times in my videos, but for those who don't know, and just a refresher here, I had this dream where I was in a McDonald's and I had two friends there. And I went and grabbed the tray and I brought it over, and I could see it. Somehow I could see it. I can't even show you how I saw it. It's impossible, pretty much. I can't explain it completely. This is the best representation I can come up with. But I saw 9, 2, and 3 on this tray with the stuff that was on it. And there's some other stuff that was on it, but I can't find a good picture, of course. Anyway, and then on the bottom somewhere with a mixture of things on it, it said, America is laid low. And so the way it was separated by 9 and then the 2 and 3. So for a while I thought it was a date, because 9, and when I got it, it was in July of 2015. And I knew September 23rd was coming up. And then a little after that, I heard that Obama was meeting with the Pope on 9/23/15, and I was like, wow, that's for 9/23. What if that's it? And so God gave me this at this time, and so I'm going back to thinking that it could be 9/23, but I thought for a while it could be 9/23 or it could be 9/23. It could be a date, it could be something else. And then with me being open, I learned over time that 9/TO3 is what they believe. They're going to go from the bottom of the pyramid, which they believe is 9, to the top of the pyramid, which is 3, which has to do with the $1 bill, and there's all kinds of stuff going on with that, and I have videos on that I've done. But the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid is going from 9 to 3, and that's what they believe on 9/23. I mean, if that's what that is, if this is 9/23 and this is finally it, and then again, this is month of Elul in Israel, so this is also 6/23, and then like I said, months later from that, or about 7-8 months ago, something like that, 7-8 months ago, I think, Jesus gave me a dream. Very quick, he came up to me and said 9/23 is 6/23, and he said 2/3. So, but 2/3 could still be 23. It's just 2 and 3, and then it's be 23. So it depends on how you look at it. But I see it now as very possibly 9/23. But it is actually also 6/23, because Obama's number is also 6/23. Barack Hussein Obama in Jewish Gematria, because he's the false Messiah, is 6/23. It is. And there's so many things I've shown in iPad Go to my previous videos that are 6/23, 6/23, 6/23, or you could also look at some of them as 6/23. So anyway, what I want to say as well, so that's when America's laid low, finally, on 9/23. So I'm thinking there's an attack day on the 20th and 21st, 9/20, oh, I hate it when it does it, 9/20 and 9/21st, okay, and then there would be the final attack, nuclear attack on 9/23. If this is right, okay, it may be some other dates down the road that I have possibilities as well, but I'm dealing with one at a time and what seems to be the most possible. Otherwise, I would go to a different date. So, anyway, okay, and then, so that's what I'm saying here. Okay, so first the tsunamis, 20 and 21, east and west coast, depending on the time zone and everything. Then 9/23, just generally at basically noon. East Coast time, noon. That's what I'm seeing there with that crescent there. Okay, then the other thing I want to mention is that what I've shared in the past is the attack days that it was showing in all kinds of things of 118. And I've got you should check out this quick videos of the twin British guys running, and they got 118, and they're running to the theme of Ghostbusters, but it's call 118. And there's twins, and it's all been about twins. It's twin births. The birth of the Antichrist, which is Barack Obama, and the birth of the man-child into heaven at the same time. And then months later, after I've been talking about on YouTube, I found out we were pregnant, and then I found out months after that they were twins. And then when I saw them in the ultrasound, 3D ultrasound, they looked like yin and yang, laying there in opposite directions, and one was kind of shaded darker than the other one from the ultrasound 3D. What? Anyway, and I'm going to get into all that right now, but so it's twin attack days, so 118 plus 118 equals 236, and then like I've said, and that's in the explosions behind the death figure. I've shown 236 all over the explosions behind the death figure in iPad Goat 2. So 236 is also, the 6 is upside down, so it's the 23rd of September, possibly still, right? Okay, and then 239, without doing the slash, 239, just 239, was the guide stones. The guide stones were pointing to the 239th day of the year, and then that was one of the angles, and the opposite angle was 126. Okay, and I should have put a picture in here, but I forgot to do that. But it's really pointing to the 239th day of the year, which was 8/27. But 8/27, 8 times 27 is 216. Oops, 216. And then remember, 126 was the opposite angle of the 239, which total ends up being 365 at a 360 degrees. No, they had two angles that totaled 365, which showed me it was days. Okay, but that's 126. And by the way, how does 126 relate to 216? 126 is 21 times 6, which is 216. There's so much to this. It's crazy. So 827, which was the 239th day, 8 times 27 is 216, which is, again, 216 is the 216th day, which is Barack Obama's birthday of August 4th. It's all pointing to him. So this code showing this code, which is showing this code, which is showing this code, they all relate to 118. And then also 8111, which is 8 plus 1 is 9, and 9, that's 911. So those are the master codes I've said. So they use all these different numbers that point to each other with some main codes to ultimately showing 923 or 923 is 623. Because they can show them in all kinds of things. And they can do it a vast amount of different imagery and symbolism and stuff in all of media to point to one time, one moment. And I'm trying to figure that out. And if you can't understand that someone can make mistakes and always say that this may not be it, but this could be it, and this possibly could be it, and hey, whatever, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, do you yell at a police officer when they, well, maybe you do, yell at a police officer when they try to build a case and then they're wrong? Or do you yell at a prosecutor or a defense attorney? Guess what? In a court, in a trial, one person's wrong for sure. A prosecutor's wrong or a defense attorney is wrong. Do we yell at our attorneys and say, how dare you be wrong? The other side was right, and so you need to be crucified. What's wrong with you? Well, I was just doing with what I thought I saw, and so that's what I'm doing. And if you have a problem with that, then go do something else. Go find something else. Go watch something else. It's crazy. I mean, don't you have something better to do? You know, go find something else. It's just crazy. Anyway, I'm just saying this because, you know, people make mistakes, and I'm trying to solve a complex puzzle here. And I think a lot of people believe that I'm doing something, and I'm showing them something, and it makes sense to some degree. I think this whole thing is insanity, because I think evil is insanity, but I'm doing my best to help people and warn them because they need Jesus. And I'm telling you, when people finally see this and this stuff comes, the people that watch my videos are going to realize that Jesus did show them ahead of time. So that's what I'm going to go. That's where I'm going from here. I'm done pretty much. So I have another part 2 probably, or a part 2 coming, where I'm going to talk about more stuff probably. We'll see how it goes. But that's how it is so far. So hopefully you got some stuff from this, and we may see something on today, the 18th. We may see something 9/19/19, which is a crazy day for them not to do something. There's going to be something on that day. I'm pretty convinced something. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe something related to something I'm talking about. I don't know. And then possibly attack days on 2021 and 23. September 23. This month is loaded. The rest of this month is loaded. My next video is going to be more about the 27th through the 29th as possible times as well. If these aren't right, I'm probably going to talk about these ahead of time, which is crazy because we've got this whole animal sacrifice coming. Wow, with the no-hide laws and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to beat a dead horse anymore. So this is it for me. I hope you are blessed. Thank you for watching, and may Jesus open your eyes and live with you. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.